Well, welcome. I forgot last week I said, oh, I will be back on Wednesday. I forgot that starting last month, the week that we do this show, we merged the advice life with the what the fuck show so that I'm not doing like it would essentially be 3 shows back to back. I just don't have that stamina anymore like I did when I was young, like a couple of years ago. Can't do it. So I merged these two, and then that leaves room for the Dusty News Network on Friday. But this week that'll be on Saturday because the birthday party is tomorrow. Just to remind everybody, the Dusty News Network show will be on Saturday this week, and I think next week too, because something else happened. But I don't remember. But anyway, whatever. But we're here tonight. This is our monthly call-in show where if you have a question, you want to get it answered right now and for sure. Because if you send it in, it's kind of iffy. I mean, we pick some of them, but not everybody's question gets picked for the show. But if you have something that, you really want to get an answer once a month, and today is the day, for $10 on Cash App or Facebook. I'm sorry, what do I say? Facebook, YouTube, Superchat. You can get your question answered in real time right here, right now. What you have to do is, if you want to do it by Cash App, let me type it in there real quick. It's $sign Depsterism, right? Isn't that the thing for Cash App? There it is. So that's the way you can do it by Cash App, or if you're already over here on YouTube, it's by Super Chat. And then in the meantime, while you guys get your question together, and you can either type it in the chat or you can call it in. And there's a well, it's not really like a phone, but it is the VoIP line to reach the studio. That's it right there. So you would just click that link, and with your cell phone or on your computer, it should open up your audio so that you can talk to me and tell me what your question is. Then I'll give you the answer. Yes. All right. Oops. What is this? Is this from last week? Or this? Oh, that must be from last week. This is from this week. Okay. Here we go. So we got some questions that we normally would have done these yesterday. But I'm like, because I still need some questions until y'all start calling in. So now I just merge them, and this works better. All right. So this is for today. 25 questions as usual. We will be doing these 25 questions whether somebody calls in for a live question or not. So that's how these shows work now. So let's start with question number 1. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Pensacola, Florida. Summary of issue: how do I tell my boyfriend that I don't want to be on the phone with him all day? I am 22 and I work part-time, and my boyfriend, who is 26, works full-time. We've been together for 6 months. He has a job that kind of allows him to be on his phone. He really shouldn't be, but he does because he can get away with it. So all day long, he calls me over and over to talk about absolutely nothing. We live together, and you only been dating him for 6 months. Wow, y'all move fast and have great conversation when he's home. But I hate talking to him on the phone during the day. I'm always trying to get house chores done. We just moved last week, so I'm still unpacking and organizing. Or on days like today when I'm in an irritable ass episode, bipolar type 2. Oh, I just like to watch something, to listen to music, or interact as little as possible with other people because I know that I'm irritable and snappy and I don't want to start taking it out on other people by accident. My question is, how do I tell him that I don't want to sit around on the phone all day without it coming off as mean or like I don't like talking to him? Oh my God, how can you stand this? I don't know how you do it. Well, you can start by telling him, honey, darling, baby, babe, whatever the hell you call each other. Do you know that when you're at when you call me and stuff, it keeps me from doing other things that I need to be doing to get the house together or to work. I can't do both at the same time. So we need to figure out a schedule. You can call from, I don't know, 10, say he starts working at, I don't know, 7. Well, then, from like 10 to 10:30, we can talk on the phone. And then from 2 to 2:30, we can talk on the phone. And then after that, you'll be home. So, I mean, it's like, at this rate, we're going to run out of stuff to talk about. It is going to be boring at home because we would have talked about everything while we were on the phone at work. Sometimes it's good to just leave a little mystery. Make a woman miss you. I'm not being given that opportunity. That's what I would tell him. And then if he still did it anyway, then he would get, I'm sorry, cussed out because I can't with people like that. Plus, it's like he should be working anyway. He's not getting paid to talk Jack with you on the phone all day. Man, that's what if he's not in danger of getting, hey, Shay, if he's not in danger of getting fired, I would drop a dime on his boss and say, are you aware that employee so-and-so is on the phone all day long? I bet you he stopped calling in. But then, that might be kind of messed up. But it sure is a way to do it. Send an anonymous note cut from newspapers like they used to do in the 50s. But them ransom notes, that shit was hilarious. Yeah, he's just too much. I had a guy, I dated him. Well, we were in the talking to phase. Let me put it that way. I went out with him, I think, once or twice. But he used to do that. And that's when I was working for Net Noir and my office was at home. They installed all the stuff and the high speed internet and all this. They bought me a fax machine. They did everything. So I would work at home, except when I had to go in once a week for these meetings. And he somehow, this was, before really working at home was really a popular thing. We're talking about in the late 90s. And so he thought that just meant I wasn't doing anything. That because he was a fireman, and I guess they sit around the firehouse when they don't have a fire. They clean the things and wash the equipment or whatever they do. But once that's done, they really don't have anything to do. And it's like they have to do that every day. So they would sit around a lot, and he would have a lot of idle time. So he just thought he was supposed to fill up his idle time with Jack with me on the phone. I had stuff to do. A lot of people, they didn't have AOL. They didn't have like emails and stuff like that yet. These things were, because when did I start working for Net Noir? I think, let's see, I was at 95, 90, something like that. And so, a lot of people didn't even have email yet. They didn't have a computer at home. They didn't have anything. So the concept that someone would work and make call, send emails for work and have these meetings over the phone and stuff like that, conference calls, all that technology was new. It seems old now, but it was new then. And so if somebody worked in tech or, the .com industry, they really didn't have access to that kind of stuff until many years later. So it was such a novel concept to him. He just couldn't grasp the fact that I can't be on the phone with you because I need to be on the phone to these other people here for a conference call. He didn't register. So that didn't work at all. So I understand your pain, girlfriend. Let's move on. Question number 2. If you guys have if she don't answer the phone, that clown would probably get in his car and come home to think something happened to her. She says he's a stage 5 clinger. This is the link. If you have a question that you want to call in, the procedure is that you, oh, that's right. I have little cards. Hold on. Let me put this up here. Okay. So the procedure is you pay the $10 in Superchat or CashApp to dollars. Debster is right there on the screen. If you submitted your question in advance, which I didn't get any, those letters will be read first. If you pay during the broadcast, be sure to add your name to the chat so it lets Shay and I know that you're ready to give us your question, in which case we will call you and you can either call in or you can start typing. But if you type your question before we recognize you, it's going to scroll up and we're going to lose it. You have to do it all over again because I'm not scrolling up. So there it is. That's the instruction to model. The host will acknowledge you, and then you can either call in or add your question to the chat. If you are a slow typer, please open up a document in WordPress or Word app or Word or whatever you got, and type it in there so you can cut and paste. Because we don't have all day for you to be doing your 10 minutes, 10 words a minute hunting and pecking. That'd just be people with them 2 fingers. I just got a notification. Somebody sent a Cash App. Okay. Wait, where's the Cash App little button? Look at all my things. Some of them disappeared. Well, this isn't good. I don't know what. I only use this once a month when we do the show. And I constantly don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, here we go. I found the place where it shows the tab where it shows who. Okay. Via. I will acknowledge you so you can either type your question in the chat or you can call in using that link. Either one, whichever one works for you. Okay. There's the link. And if you want to call and just ask it verbally, or you can type it right here in the chat. And so after she types it, you guys get my attention, please, because I'm going to go on to the next letter. Okay, this is question number 2. A young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from Washington, D.C. Some of issue. My friends think that it's gross that I still call my brother little man. A few days ago, I was on the phone with my brother while my friends, both female, and they've been my friends for 20 plus years, were over for some drinks. I said something like, "Thanks, little man. I'll see you on Thursday." And they both looked at each other and dramatically shuddered in disgust. Doing too much. I hung up and asked them what was wrong. They both told me that it was weird and gross that at 30, I still call my younger brother, he's 26, little man. I said it was just his nickname, and I've been calling him that since he was 3. I even pointed out that one of my friends still called her younger brother by a cutesy nickname, even though he was now 25. She replied that it wasn't the same, but it rubbed me the wrong way. We all moved on from the topic, but it stuck with me. We had been a few drinks in, but obviously this is something they have spoken to each other about before by the way that they looked at each other and did that dramatic shudder. Thinking about it, I was torn, and maybe it was a bit gross or cringy. So I asked my brother the next day if he minded still being called little man by me. He said he'd never really thought about it, and he always been called it by me and the family since he was small. I also asked if he wanted me to stop, and he said he didn't really care one way or the other. I don't really want to stop calling him by his nickname, but are my friends right? Is it a gross to be calling my younger brother little man? Hell no. And what you should have done is tell your 2 friends, when I want your opinion, bitch, I'll ask you for it. That's what you should have told them. You stay your nose out of anything that has to do with my family, my relationships with anybody or my family, unless I specifically ask you your opinion or your input. This is the boundary, and we're going to stick to this from here on out. 20 years of friendship is great, but that does not give you the right to interject your opinion. It's just anything to do with my relationship with my family. That's how I would have shut that down just real quick. But all my friends know better because they know that eyebrow will go up. I used to do that before The Rock made it famous. That eyebrow would go up, and then I'd be like, that head tilt comes, and then things start spewing from my mouth, and it's not fun. It's not pleasant. It's not pretty. So I don't know. Yeah, saying it is gross and stuff. I mean, it's like, okay, let me just share. Okay, My younger brother, when he was a baby, he looked like Tweety Bird. Sometimes we still call him Tweety. This boy is like, how old is he? I don't know, 50 something at this point. And my oldest brother, what does he call me? I can't remember, some crazy nickname. And I call him Banana Breath. I've been calling him Banana Breath since I was about 6 or 7 years old. He got the nickname Banana Breath. So when he calls on the phone, he says, oh, he calls me Turkey. That's a Turkey. And I say, Banana Breath. It was around Thanksgiving time. He says, your holiday is coming up. Are you scared? Stuff like that. We rib each other. But there's no reason for siblings who are close to change the way that they talk to each other. Now, unless, someone's uncomfortable with it, or they have limits like, well, don't call me that in public, or, don't come to my job calling me little man. They might say something like that. But amongst the two of you, there's nothing wrong with that. You need to shut them down because they doing too much. Just all up in your face. Yeah, banana bread. It's so stupid. But it takes us back to our childhood. And it's like when we talk and we start off like that, we laugh and it just makes, I don't know, it just sets the tone for the conversation. The few times he has not made, we have not done that and we got into it and I didn't talk to his ass for a month. He was of some other kind of breath, but it wasn't banana. But yeah, Banana Breath and Turkey and Tweety. Those are our nicknames for each other. So silly. But yeah, girl, don't mind them. Just don't pay attention to them. You continue to call your brother whatever you and he are comfortable with. It has to be mutual. Whatever you two are comfortable with. Okay, so here's her question. Let me display it. If there's more to it, start typing. My question is, how should I handle my younger sister cutting me off because I told her that she needs a provider man? She's 23 and has been with this guy for 4 years. He's a good guy, but he just can't provide. Is there more to this? Should I wait before I respond? Because I'm interested to know what it is that you need him to provide that she can't provide for herself. I think that's my question. Is she the one carrying the load and he just like side saddle? Like a woman. I mean, what's going on? I need a little bit more information. I hesitate to just spew out because I have questions. I have questions. She's cutting you off because you told her that. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What's the problem? Is he like not working? Is she taking care of him? I mean, there has to be more to this story why you would say that. Like you feel like your sister's being taken advantage of. I mean, what's going on? What's happening here? I need to know what the story is. If you don't want to type it and you want to just call and tell me, oh shit, but I don't know where my headphones are, do I? Why am I always so unprepared? Oh, here they are. In case somebody does call, I'm like, God, I wouldn't be able to hear them. Okay, I found them. Okay, let's see what she said. Oh, I'm reading this. I should be reading this out loud for the people who are driving. Her question continues with, she's in college and works full time. He works what you call Mickey Mouse jobs. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's not a bad person. My sister ends up paying more than him oftentimes than not. Okay, I see. Okay, thank you for the greater explanation. So your sister's in school working full time. So she's trying to make something of herself. She's trying to be a better person. On her end, she has an end game. This guy is just drifting through life and just job hopping and basically looking for a sugar mama. That's what I'm getting from this situation. That this is very difficult because your sister's so young. She's at that stage of life where she feels like she has to be loyal and she has to defend her man and her choices. Because if she listens to you, then that means that she's wrong and didn't know what she's doing. And then she says she would feel like she's stupid. She don't know nothing. I mean, it's just like this slippery slope, and it all ends up going downhill fast. So The approach is not to tell her what she needs. She's an adult. You don't tell her what she needs. The approach would be that, she's so positive and going places and working so hard that she should have a partner with her who's going to be, step by step with her to help her achieve her dreams faster. She can help him the same way because they're on the same page. They're both going in the same direction. They have similar values, similar morals, similar goals, similar work ethic, similar educational goals. See, that's the approach I would have took. So it points her in, it kind of redirects her without criticizing her by telling her the way that you did. I know you didn't mean to, and it wasn't coming from a mean place. You're trying to protect your sister, but it's going to be interpreted as criticism on her end. Let's see, she said something else. They're the same age. Well, how can it be 50-50 if she's paying 90 and he paying 10? It's not 50-50. Yeah, well, my thing is, the only thing you can do in a situation like this, by the time she reaches out to you again, is tell her what I said, that you just had high hopes that she would recognize how wonderful of a person she is, and how, she's very young, but she's already on this path to try to make something of herself. And you just want to see her with a guy who's going not, he don't have to help her, but he definitely shouldn't be dragging her down like dead weight. And that's what you wish for her. So it comes off a little bit more positive. You get what I'm saying? More like you see her, you appreciate her, you think she's fabulous and wonderful. She's smart. She's got gold. This kind of stuff. You build her up and then say, I just want you to have a guy who recognizes that greatness in you and is going to help you be even better than you could be by yourself, or better faster than you could do by yourself. That's all I'm trying to say, sister. I only want the best for you. And I'm not seeing where this guy can provide the best even for himself, let alone you. So that's all. But she's gonna stay with him until she gets sick of him. And then when she's gonna wake up one day, hopefully she's not after she gets pregnant and ends up dropping out of school, because that's the way it usually goes. Hopefully she will wise up before any disaster like that happens. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably, I said 90-10, but it might be 25-75. I don't know. But if he only working Mickey Mouse jobs, those are sometimey jobs, and usually the pay is low. And they usually don't have benefits either. So if he gets sick or anything, he just going to be ass out. He won't be getting paid for them days he's not there. I don't know. But just to make you feel a little bit better, I don't know. You didn't say how old you are, how much older you are than her. But I have to say, every young girl goes through this phase. It's a phase. You go through it, because I went, okay, this one dude I dated, it was for a hot minute, was every single thing my father told me not to mess with. Every single thing. He was a felon. He didn't have no house. He lived with his mama. He was just like uneducated. The checklist of don't do, I found it all in one person. That's the motherfucker I tried to run over with my car that time. I'll tell you all about, on Market Street at the corner of Market and 7th. That was that guy. And I got it all out of my system. And then I went right back to dating the Poindexter type of dudes that I had been dating. But, it's just something you just feel, you just have this need to walk on the wild side and just to see, I'm that kind. I can hear you. But, yeah, remember that guy? I tried to kill that. I still think about it. I said, oh, I just wish I hadn't missed. But then I would probably still be in prison, so that's probably not good. But, yeah, it's like every woman, I think, goes through that phase, So hopefully, hopefully, now you got ammo. So if she calls you back, or you could write her a letter or send her an email or something and explain what you meant, that, she's just so wonderful and so this and that, and so smart and so impressive for her age. And she's so beautiful and talented. Just whatever, all the wonderful things you think about your sister, put it in there. And then say, and I don't see where he even holds a candle to you. He ain't on your level no kind of way. And I'm just trying to figure out, what the attraction is. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I love you. That's all. So that's how I would do it. When you have adult young women like that, unless they ask you what they should do, like these girls write and ask me, I don't tell people nothing about what they should do. It's not my business. You don't tell people how to live their life because it comes across as nosy and bossy, and it makes people irritable, and then they shut down. So, and that's what she did. So you got to take a different approach, and you're gonna get the same information to her, the same message, but it's gonna be the choice of words that's important. Yes. So yes. So that's why I had to confess because I did the same thing one time. That was enough for me. Okay, so let's move on to question number 3. This is a female. Thank you, by the way, for that question. That was a good one. Question number 3. This is a male in a 35 to 41 age group from Aberdeen, Scotland. Summary of issue. How do I talk to my girlfriend about her heavy walking? My girlfriend has gained some weight in the last few years and is understandably sensitive about it. Thank you, Cece. Oh, you don't have a question? Oh, okay, not yet. All right. Well, when you think of one, you just let me know. Um, she's understandably sensitive about it. I never want to make her feel bad about this, but it doesn't bother me at all. We have a housemate who lives downstairs who has been very rude about her heavy footsteps. We aren't in a position to find a new housemate at the moment. He's also a friend, which makes things complicated. His bad attitude isn't something I expect to fix right now. He is insulting, but he doesn't make any mention of her weight. She is the only one who is drawing the link between the heavy walking and the weight gain. The thing is, I don't think the heavy walking has anything to do with her weight gain, but I don't know how to bring it up. She has always walked heavily. She has a posterior pelvic tilt. I think that's the right word for it. That's like sway back kind of posture. I believe it's her gait, not weight, that's causing the heavy walking. And honestly, I know people heavier than her who are lighter on their feet and smaller people who are stompers. I feel this is something she could work on if she agreed that this was the cause. But she's hung up on her weight issue, so it's very difficult to be constructive. Yeah, because I had a cousin I know girlfriend had. She was, everybody in my family is way taller than me. I mean, all the women are like 5'8", 5'9", and here's my little shrimpy self. But she was like 5'9", and she had to be at least 300 pounds. But she used to do drama and stuff like that. And she was so light on her feet, you could barely, when she would come in the room, you'd be shocked that she was there. You just look up and then she just, like, can you make some noise when you come into the room? Very light on her feet. And then, like you say, there's people who just, like, they flop their feet and stomp around. You know what usually is the problem with that, though? The reason why they do that? Their glutes aren't working. When you walk, you're supposed to swing your leg from the hip. So you swing your leg, and it's controlled because those muscles are moving the leg. Now, what happens, though, when people's glutes aren't working, they walk from their knees. And so they end up with, a lot of people have that knock knee, their knees go in like this to try to provide stability for their pelvis as they're walking. Or some people have like a rotation in their hip. They need to see a chiropractor. And then, but the most of it is we have a society that sits down on our butts most of the time, and people's glutes aren't firing at all. So here they are walking from their knees and they flop their feet because there's no muscles really being used there. It's most likely that. It's most likely what it is. What she most likely needs is to get her little chubby ass into a gym and start doing some exercise. And that would help with that, foot drop that she's doing, the stomping thing. Get her a wheelchair. Shut up, Ash. What you could do if you don't want to, put some what kind of flooring do you have in the house? Is hardwood floor? You got any you can put carpets down or something? So help absorb some of that sound. Some kind of those sponge pads, those things that you stand on. They have those, you stand on them rubber, they're like rubberized pads or something. You can put those down in the hallway where she frequently walks, a lot and stomps around the areas where it's going to disturb dude, most likely in his bedroom or where he's watching TV or something like that. You guys can do something to mitigate that weight that she's got, that's stomping. Don't wear Crocs. I don't know if he always wore Crocs. I never stomped around with mine. But again, it's like if you have to have when you're walking, your glutes have to be firing. You cannot just when you walk and run, your legs should be going from the hip. That's why you get that, you get that power from. Otherwise, you do that little shuffle walk that people do, like old people and people with injuries. They do that shuffle walk. They're walking from their knees. They're not using their glutes at all. So she's probably walking like that, even though she's not old. That's my guess. So those are the suggestions I have for you. Get her ass into some exercise and investigate some soundproofing that you can put down on the floor to mitigate her stomping. It's something that'll help absorb some of that vibration and sound. Or ceiling pad, something either on his ceiling or on your floor to help absorb that sound. Question number 4, while we wait for more questions. Wait for more questions. Your glutes are firing on all cylinders. Well, go ahead then, Miss Thing. She all bootylicious and whatnot. Yeah, people whose glutes work, their glutes have shape. Okay, wait. Let me just talk about, something just, okay, so I'm in the gym, right? And this girl had on, I don't know, like these little shorts, little exercise shorts. And they had like what looked like to be like elastic or something in the middle, like where your butt crack would be. So it was like gathered there. So it gave the illusion, because she was a white girl with some little flat pancake booty. She did not have no booty. And so, but it gives the illusion because that material is tucked. It's like it tries to tuck between the cheeks that aren't really there. And so it gives the illusion that you have like, a booty. So the dudes was looking, and the brothers was laughing because it was just really a sad attempt to try to fool people. And they was just she walking by, and the brothers was all looking like this. And then when she went by, they look at each other and start laughing. So she didn't catch that part, but I saw it. But I'm like, what is this? So now you got to go to the gym and act like you have an ass? Aren't you there to develop your muscles so you can get one? Why you have to walk around, parade around in the gym in front like you got a figure that you don't have? That was just weird to me. Yeah. It wasn't quite, no, it wasn't pads. Well, this girl didn't have butt pads. I did see one before that did have butt pads on, and she was walking around like nobody could tell by those defined lumps under her clothes. It was like 2 lumps on the side and 2 lumps in the back. And I was like, girlfriend, you ain't fooling nobody with that. But no, these didn't seem to have any. It just was that gathered, like on a dress they call it ruching or something. But it was like, like the elastic there. So you had to like pull it like this. So it looked like it was going into her booty. The material was going into her booty, but it really wasn't because there was no booty there to go into. That's what I'm saying. It was an optical illusion. Yes, it definitely was attention seeking, but I see because she never looked behind her. So you girls who was thinking that this is cute, I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't embarrass yourself like that. If you want to grow your glutes, follow Brett Contreras on YouTube and then do his exercises, and it'll help you. But you just sit up here and wearing these fancy clothes where they say it makes you look like you have a booty. No, it doesn't. You're only fooling yourself and your wallet. You either have an ass or you don't. You can't make nothing look like you do because it makes you look like you desperate to get some attention with some body parts that you don't have. So don't do that. Oh my God, that poor girl. I was just like, and all the men, I mean, they were looking. Of course, they was looking because, they're trying to figure it out. Like, what is that? And then once they figured out that it was, the fabric, it wasn't her, then they was like, yeah, but it's outerwear, not, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want to go up to her and say, what is that shit you got on? Normally I would, like if I was with my cousin Joy, she definitely would have went up to her and said something like that. I have to watch her read me out because that Sagittarian, it just goes crazy and just be saying stuff to people that don't have no business saying. But they're not going to do nothing to her because she's like 5'10" and she fight. So they just going to look at her and be, sad that she asked them, but they're not going to get jiggy or nothing. But I was like, this kind of embarrassing. that she would think that that was cute and that's what she had to do. It was some good looking dudes. I went to a different 24-hour fitness than the one I usually go to just because I can. I said, oh, let me drive over here. So I drove down the freeway a couple of exits just to, just for something to do. And walked in there and it was like all these different, races of dudes, all these Asian men. I was like, ooh, where have you been all my life? I was in Union City. And I was like, oof, yes. I have to come here so more often. Yes. I just don't know. They just need to stop. Sages are crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Let me move on to question number 4. This is a young lady in the 35 to 41 age group from Vancouver. Summary of issue. How do I deal with income inequality with a close friend and my jealousy towards him? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Are you 5? No, 35 to 41. I won't go into much details, but I live with my best male friend at his place rent free. He was kind enough to let me move in with him, and he knows just how pathetic my situation is. So he told me that he doesn't want any rent. Thank goodness, because the rent is high here. I even got kicked out of my previous apartment because I couldn't pay on time. So yeah, I'm basically a freeloader. I've talked about feeling guilty for contributing very little to the household, and he says not to let it get into my head. Still, I help out with the groceries and I cook often. Although I've let go of my guilt regarding freeloading, there's a bigger issue around my situation, and that is that there's a massive income gap between us. I feel like such a loser around him. Him and me and him have been friends since kindergarten, and I've always been the smart one. He used to copy from me in the exams. He would always need my help in school and was a failing student. I was very studious, got a scholarship, went to a prestigious institution, and got a STEM degree in biology. But at 38, I haven't accomplished anything. I'm stuck as a lab tech and would be lucky if I ever make $45,000 a year. Girl, that's pennies in this market. Friend is successful with a highly demanding career and has his own website and a team that runs it. By every definition, he's a successful, well-balanced adult, and I'm lucky he lets me live with him. I could never afford the rent here in Vancouver. Wow. He got all that going on. Why is he renting? I don't know. Maybe he just don't want to own. A lot of single people don't want to be bothered. How do I deal with this feeling of inadequacy and the severe income gap? Okay, what you going to do about it? You've been whining about it. How long you say you've been living with him? Let me see. Did she say? Did she say how long she's been living there? No, it doesn't. Okay, but it's been at least a month or two, right? So what's your plan? What you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to school and get a master's in something else that you could, use their biology as a jump off point? What's the job market for people with a biology degree that you could, use it and go somewhere else? Are there any genetic engineering companies in your area that you could go and work at? Do you have any, you have the science background. Do you have any management experience? You could become a manager. And there, they make a great salary, and your experience as a lab tech would come in handy. So what you gonna do, girlfriend, other than whine and sit on your ass and sulk because you're not as great as him? I've often said that. It's like, so a lot of times just because you're the smartest one doesn't mean that you're going to be as successful. Now, how did I learn this from my own self? Because I was like in my family, I was always I didn't even really have to study. I just always get straight A's all the time. But what my brothers have over me is perseverance. Like if I really want something, I'll stick to it. But generally, I'm like, oh, okay. Once I feel like I've mastered it, I move on to the next thing. So my resume, my life, all my experiences. I mean, it works well for this show and what I'm doing now. That I can draw on all these different areas of work and life and places I've been and people I know and stuff I've tried. It's good in this seat I'm sitting in right now. But in general, like as far as when people want to be successful in life and have a career and be a professional and all this kind of stuff, I suck because I just move on. I don't really care. I felt like as long as I want my number one goal in life was 1, have fun, and B, make sure I had a roof over my head and food in my stomach and a car to drive and money to put gas in it. Those are my priorities. Everything else was like, whatever. I'm still like that to this day. Whereas my brothers were like, yeah, I want this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this grind and this and that. And then I'm there. And so I'd be sending them a postcard from Jamaica. That was me. I'm doing my life, living my life different. So I can understand what you mean. Obviously, he's very, he was very focused as far as career. And if he's creative like that, he didn't need to be that smart. He could hire other people that could be smart for him. That's what you do when you're at the top. So what you should do is sit down with him and ask him for some career advice. So, I'm just really, I don't want to live here with you like this forever. I mean, you're great and wonderful and I love you and all this old stuff here. But, I just feel like I'm just wasting my life. I'm just spinning my wheels. I feel so lost. Do you have any suggestions? You seem to have handled yours so well, from kindergarten to now. So what do you think? What can I do? What should I start looking at? See what he has to say. That's your boy. He's going to help you. Yeah, Silver, but my goal is always, like I said, my number one goal in life has always been to have a good time. Where can I have a good time and how long can I have the good time on the money that I have in my bank account or my purse? What can I do? How much fun can I elicit from this situation? That's always been me. If it wasn't fun, I didn't want to be bothered. That's why I don't be in these relationships, because once they get unfun, I'm just like, deuces. Yes. So that would be my suggestion to you. He sounds like a really nice guy that really cares about you. Like he cares about you like family. So I would sit down with him and, just do that. That's a fabulous success. Yes, I think so. Question number 5. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. It says, small town, Indiana. Females, the same age group. Summary of issue. Am I wrong for wanting to leave my girlfriend of 9 years for mental health issues? You 22 to 27 and you've been with somebody 9 years, should you leave her just for that? Just for that alone, whether she's crazy or not. Okay, let's see what you're talking about. I've been with my girlfriend now for almost 9 years. We met in high school, and over the years, her mental health has been deteriorating. I wasn't always the best boyfriend, and we ended up breaking up and getting back together 2 years ago because of the same problem, though admittedly, I wasn't always emotionally available. I've always wanted the best for her, though, and I've always stayed committed to our relationship. For the last 2 years, things seem to have gotten a lot better, and she started medication. We've been able to reset our relationship and have amazing experiences together. I truly love her with all of my heart. Recently, though, she started to fall back into her old ways. She doesn't eat. I picked up her schooling so that she doesn't flunk out. Oh, you codependent. At the very least, she goes to work every day. She was exercising and eating healthy and feeling better for a long time, but now she's bed locked. What does that mean? I guess she don't want to get out the bed. For the last 3 years, I've worked as hard as I can on my mental and physical health so that I can support her when she needs it. I've worked really hard to convince her to get on medication, and if she wasn't on medication, I don't believe we would still be together. She started being inconsistent with her pills and has started diagnosing herself with whatever she relates to on social media. Honestly, I do believe a lot of what she's been diagnosing herself with is accurate, but I'm scared she's just using this as an excuse to get myself and her parents to carry her through life. I've asked her many times to get therapy, and she won't because her friends have told her that the therapists in the area are harmful. We live in a small town. I ask her to make sure that she's getting healthy food into her when she can eat, and I ask her to try and get up and move around instead of laying in the bed the entire night when she gets off work. She refuses and gets upset with me when I tell her that she needs to do these things to take care of herself. So she refuses to see shrinks in our area, and she's inconsistent with her medication, and she's sending me articles all the time telling me how to better support her based off of her self-diagnoses. Every day she's calling or texting me, oh my God, dude, to tell me how bad she is doing and how she hasn't eaten and how she's laid in bed the entire night. My heart breaks for her, but I feel like I'm at my emotional capacity when it comes to support. I spent my entire early 20s away from my friends and isolated so that I can be more supportive to her. Yeah, you deep into codependent land. But now that I'm a lot healthier and have more energy, I want to explore and have life experiences. I love her so much, but she's on a self-destructive path, and I just don't know what to do. I can't ask my friends for advice because they don't get along with her, and they have very clear bias towards the situation. I'm just looking for honest opinions and advice at this point. I have bias too. The bitch is crazy and she's using you. And the thing is, you that kind, gentle soul talking about I'm a supporter. When she sends you articles and say, bitch, when your ass get an MD or a PhD in this topic, then you can send me some articles. And then at that point, you should be writing them. But you don't send me this shit. Your ass hasn't been to a doctor and you're not qualified to diagnose nothing. So don't send me anything else. She comes and talking about she in the bed and stuff. Bitch, get your lazy fat ass up and do something with yourself. I'm going to tell you this. You got 30 days. 30 days to get your shit together or this relationship is over. And this time I'm not coming back. I want your ass up out of here. I don't care where you go, but it's not going to be here. Because I don't want to look at no crazy ass bitch all the rest of my 20s. That's not going to happen. You've already wasted almost a decade of my life on this simple bullshit. I want you out of my life. Either get your shit together or get out. You got 30 days. The clock starts now. And that's what I would tell her. I don't understand how you could invest 9 years of your life into this nonsense. She would have had like a week of this. I don't see, but she wouldn't even have that long because y'all know I don't do crazy. Somebody telling me they taking their meds and they depressed and they got all this old shit here going on. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I'm looking around to see who else is here and what else I'm going to be doing because it's not going to be nothing with you. I don't do crazy. I don't do mentally ill. I don't do depressed. I don't do druggies. I don't do drunks. I don't do any of them, convicts. I don't do nothing like that. You just need to be just regular, regular. And then I can deal with you. Dude, I don't even understand why you I can understand her parents doing it because they feel obligated since they're the ones that birthed that waste of human flesh. But that's not your problem. You're a young cat. Get out of there. Either you move or you kick her out if you want to stay there. One of the two needs to happen like ASAP. Stop listening to her. Stop helping her. Just shut down. When she talks about, she got problems, say, bitch, of course you're going to have a problem because you stupid. You don't want to do shit. You just want to dump your problems on other people. I'm not trying to be bothered with this bullshit. I don't care. So don't waste my time telling me how bad things were for you. Good. Maybe if it gets bad enough, you can get off your ass and do something. See, they wouldn't want me to be a shrink. Girl, I'm telling you, I just want regular. Just regular. Like between the normal lines, regular. Just regular. I could be a shrink because when people come whining about some simple bullshit, I would cuss them out so bad. That's why I never went forward. You're supposed to do an internship and then you go and get your LCSW and all this. You do all your little hours and all this little stuff here. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I would have that license for exactly 6 hours before this said something that I shouldn't have said and they snatch it back. They would just be like, you know what? We shouldn't ever gave your ass that paper. Give me that license back. That license is revoked. So I knew. So I didn't even waste my time. Instead, I started a website. That's what I did. Let's move on from this crazy bitch. Question number 6. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group from Rialto, California. Summary of issue. My recent ex of 2 months. Wait a minute. My ex of 2 months. So do you mean that you dated her for 2 months or did you all been split for 2 months? Maybe this will be answered. Let me see. Is in a friends with benefits situation with a mutual married friend. Okay, so why is that your business though? My stepdaughter let us slip when we went out for dinner. I'm legitimately heartbroken by this news and I've spoken to my ex regarding this. She said it's none of my business what she does and with whom. Of course, that's equally true as I'm sure it started after we broke up, although pretty quickly. I've been doing no contact to try and move forward, but next weekend, I have a CrossFit competition that I'm in with a fellow gym partner. My ex has now let me know that she and the married man will also be there to compete together as a team. This is causing me huge anxiety as I'm not ready to see their relationship in person yet. How can I navigate this situation? Try and mask with a brave face? Am I overreacting? Well, it depends on how much of an asshole you want to be. Hold on. Yeah, but even as I do life coaching now. But that's not licensed and regulated like, you have a license from the state to, practice medicine, psychological medicine and treatment and stuff like that. It's different. Counseling and therapy. What's my throat so dry today? Okay, it depends on how much you want an asshole you want to be. Because he's married, right? You said it's a mutual married friend. Oh, wife, did you know that your husband is going to be competing with my ex in a CrossFit competition this weekend? You should show up. Bring the kids. Click. And everybody else who you guys know, I would be telling everybody, Daddy, she's a hoe. Let me tell you about what this message she's married with this married man. He's a hoe and so is she. Just two hoes together. I would just tell everybody. And so she says, none of her business, none of your business. Okay, well then it's none of yours then to try to keep it on the low. That means I get to tell everybody, right? Because you ain't ashamed because you say it's none of my business. You're not like you're trying to hide nothing. So let's just tell everybody. Let's just put it on social media and just do a phone tree. Let's just let everybody know that you're a hoe. You's a hoe. I said that you's a hoe. You're doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes is your friend. Hoes is your enemies. You know that song. My favorite by Ludacris. That's what I would do. Now, what is that going to do for you? Even if you go to the CrossFit competition, chances are she would drop out because the dude would get busted and so he wouldn't show up and so she wouldn't have a partner. So she wouldn't be there and there's your solution to your problem. See how quick that is? I solved that problem for you so quickly. One phone call and the problem is solved. And then most likely, you won't have to really see that happening anymore because word will be out. Everybody will ostracize them because, that kind of thing is very threatening to married women. When they see that there's a female amongst them that would dip with a married man that's amongst them, they cut her off. They isolate her. So she wouldn't have no friends. She wouldn't have nowhere to go, no social activities unless she would have some friends from work or something like that. But, you would effectively shut her life down. Go for it. Do it. I'm trying to tell you. I love that. Well, I would do it, but you got to pay. It's you get copyright dings from YouTube and stuff when you start using a little stupid music. So I just sing it myself. But yeah, that's what I would suggest that you do, sir. And you can go and do your CrossFit competition, just feeling oh so free because she will not be there and she will be in Shameville, isolated socially, and it just serve her right. Question number 7. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Charleston, South Carolina. The male's 22 to 27. So 18 to 21 to 20. Okay. This man I have been talking to for months will not drop my body count. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how he got your body count, but let's see how you screwed up. We are kind of arguing in here. Right now, because she put R in right now. And here are some quotes. And what matters to me is if the woman I marry was a hooker at some point or not is what matters to me. And I don't get that impression from you, though. Or, and quote, that may just have been a difference we have, but if you really have less than 10 bodies, there's no problem anyways, end quote. I have told him many times before that I have been victimized by men multiple times before, but I don't count those. Recently, body count was brought up, and he said, if we counted those times, would it be over 10? Wow. He said that to you? I was literally too fucking stunned to speak. Before last night, he hadn't said anything close to that. I really did like this guy, but his true colors are now showing, and it's very upsetting. Also, he is 24 and I am 20, if that matters. What should I do? You should dump him. Why is this even a question? First of all, when he started talking about, if his woman was a whore, once a man starts saying stuff like that to you, you hang up the phone. That's all you listening. When he says something, he refers to any woman in that kind of derogatory, judgmental, condemning way because she has a sex life. You hang up your phone and you go to that button on there where it says block caller and you press it. I don't care if you've been with him for 10 years. You get him out of your life because his mind is messed up. And all you do is listen to this too. That's so inappropriate. Nobody cares about your raggedy judgments. It's like, so it's fine for you to do it. Who you think is the one that these women are sleeping with, right? It's y'all. So shut up. You get mad when the whole contingent of you online mad because you ain't getting no booty. And then when the woman gives you some, instead of being happy, you want to be mad at her for giving it to you and start calling her names. It's like we can't win with you. No matter what we do, it's wrong. So you know what? Women, just do what the hell you want to, but keep your mouth closed. Don't tell them shit. My number was always 3. My husband and 2 more. That was it. Well, how could you only have 3? I don't know. I just been so selective. Now, you know they know I'm lying, and I know I'm lying, and I know that they know that I'm lying. But you know what? I don't give a fuck, because what I did and who I did it with is none of their business. It was before I ever met them. So if you gonna ask me a stupid ass question, I'm gonna give you a stupid ass answer. And so everybody got that same number, 3. 3. But yeah, the main thing is, if they start saying anything like that, any judgments like that along those lines, they are immediately dismissed from my life. I just cannot with men who think that women are supposed to sit on their hands and twiddle their thumbs and wait for them to walk into their life, maybe, and possibly perhaps consider that they want to settle down with them and stuff. Fuck all y'all with that bullshit. Okay, let me see what Sliver's talking about. I vet my partner in many ways before eggplant. One of the requirements is new lab work. Oh, hell yeah. What is your stance on using protection, including birth control, with a partner who is clean but not married to? Use everything. I'm not taking no chances, because you know what? This is the deal. This is the deal here. Just because you got lab work done and he was clean this week don't mean over the weekend he didn't dip out and do some shady shit, and then next week you come down with something. So you always use protection. Always. There's women who's married who still make their husband use them see things. And the men don't like it, and guess what? Nobody cares what they like. Because it's like, y'all just don't be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. And, but like I said, just states, take it one step further, and always. Birth control is a must. Birth control is because they're 2 separate things. The birth control takes care of reproduction that you don't want to be bothered with. There's some baby, by some jackleg food that you don't really want to be with. And then the other stuff takes care of, disease transmission. So you need both. If you're a woman of childbearing age, you need both. Yep. In Jamaica, they used to have these, the billboards. They would say, "No glove, no love." I said, and that's the best. I mean, real simple and straight to the point. No glove, no love. I'm like, okay, I hear ya. Okay, let me get back to these letters. We only on question number 8. This young lady, 28 to 34, age group, from San Diego. I got to stop going off on my side tangent. Summary of issue: how do I deal with gym harassment? It happened once, but it scared me. I'm scared it will happen again. Do you realize we get at least one of these letters about somebody clowning in the gym at least once a month? This is ridiculous. So I was at my apartment gym today. Literally, I just sat down on a leg press machine, and this Indian, like from Pakistan, Indian guy came up to me trying to say something. I told him I don't understand, but after a few back and forths in English, I deduced that he wanted to use my machine. I told him I hadn't even started my sets yet and to wait until after I was finished. He said, okay. Just a few minutes later, he comes by again, fiercely tapping on his watch, and asks me to raise voice when I'm going to finish and to tell him what time immediately. To tell him right then and there what time and when I will go and why I'm using the leg press so long. He said this in a raised voice. I literally did 8 reps of 3 sets by the time, with only 1.5 minutes of rest in between. 1.5 minutes? What you doing? Your ass trying to be a bodybuilder? You don't need 1.5 minutes. You need 30 seconds. What the fuck? Between. I didn't sit there for 5 minutes each time doing nothing or on my phone. So he was raising his voice, and I argued that I will finish when I want to finish and to wait his turn since I arrived there first. And he asked again, well, then what time? And I said again, I'll finish when I finish. And then I put my headphones back on. I proceeded to add 2 more sets to my original plan because I didn't want him to win with the satisfaction of kicking me off the machine whenever he wanted. Sorry for venting, but I felt really agitated by the way he talked to me and the audacity he had trying to force me off the machine faster. It really ruined my gym mood. Since this is at my apartment, I will probably see him at the gym again. I need advice on what to do if he should ever harass me again. Okay, first of all, you did that to yourself. Let me tell you how you fucked it up. The man came to you and he says, uh, when are you going to finish? And tell him what time. Give me 10 minutes. So you look at the clock up on the wall. I'll be done at 9:15. Okay, he would have went away and come back at 9:15 and you would have been done. All this was unnecessary. You need to learn how to handle yourself and watch your mouth when you're dealing with people. Okay, this was all you was all off on some bullshit. We're talking about your sets, and I just sit down and he's kicking me. All he asked you was what time. That's all you had to tell him. Well, I just started. Give me 10 minutes and then I'll be done. So 9:15, and he would have went away because he would have known what time to come back. That's what he was asking you. What time? And you gave him every answer but what time. Did you notice that? You was all around the world. Oh, my 8 reps and my 3 sets, and I added 2 extra sets, and I didn't want him to win. You was doing too much. It's one leg press machine using them little apartment gyms. They only have one of each kind of machine. And sometimes they only have like 4 or 5 machines anyway. So it's not like it's going to take somebody a long time to get a workout in. So in the future, if someone asks you what time you'll be done, give them a time. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm on my last set, 2 minutes. I just started 15 minutes, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is, you give them a time and don't do this anymore. You know, some people just not wrapped too tight. So you don't want to get into altercations unnecessarily with stupid people. Not only that, you know, you got to remember that the Indian culture is very patriarchal. Some of the younger, you know, more Americanized dudes are not so weird like that. But if he evidently he had a heavy accent, so he's like, you know, fresh off the plane, and you sitting up there want to argue with him because you couldn't understand what he was talking about, right? So that means he has a heavy accent. So, you know, he's evidently that culture is deeply embedded in him. So he's already thinking, you know, who is this woman that uses the machine that I want to use, right? Then you're going to be trying to argue with him. So that's going to just irk him even more. So see, all of that, though, could have been avoided by just doing what I said. He said what time. All you had to do is tell him what time. You did too much. Just started a bunch of shit for no reason. So you want to know how I would have handled it? That's how I would have handled it. Now, if he came back before 9:15, I said 9:15, would have said Deborah, and pointed to the clock. It's not 9:15 yet. Poof, go away. That's all you had to do, right? I mean, do you guys agree? Because he asked that. He was very direct. What time will you be done? All she had to do was say, in 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was. Question number 9. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Las Cruces, New Mexico. So I have an issue. I rejected my coworker, and then he recently started making comments that are making me uncomfortable. I'm 19 and not had any problems with my coworker before. We like to hang out outside of work sometimes on the rare occasion that we both have the day off and are both available. We usually go for a hike with my dog. A few months ago, he asked me out on a date, but I politely declined and told him that it would be best to stay friends/coworkers for the obvious reasons that relationships can get messy and or complicate things. At the time, he took it very well and agreed with me. However, a few weeks after the rejection, he started to make comments about being in a relationship with me. Comments like, quote, everyone keeps shipping us. Shipping? Okay, somebody needs to tell me what that means. And, quote, I'm simping so hard, end quote. He makes them at work and when we text. It's making me uncomfortable. I don't know how to stop the comments. I don't want to tell my managers, and I don't want to confront him because it'll just make things worse. Is there any solution that stops the comments but doesn't involve me confronting him or telling the managers? Okay, first of all, what was you doing hanging out with dude one-on-one on times when you had time? Don't you know that you was already dating him? That's what those were, dates. You young girls and your lack of awareness just fucking kill me. You cannot be going somewhere with a single man and you going often and you work with him, you know, and you spend all this time with him, and then you don't see that as a possible thing where dude's getting his hopes up. You don't understand that that's what you're doing. You don't do stuff like that. You shouldn't be texting with him either, especially after you already hung after you already shot him down, you should have blocked him and say, in order to you do this thing where you said stay coworkers, then you make sure that that's all it is, and then you block him so he can't contact you outside of work hours. He can walk over to your desk, or he can call your extension, and then after you guys get our clock out, that's the end of it. Do this immediately. And stop doing this when you go to jobs. You don't be buddy with no men on your job like that. Keep your work life and your relationship life completely separate. You don't mix and mingle the two. So see, this is a mixed message you send here. You getting him all excited. He spending all his time with you, and you're bringing your dog and going for hikes and hours and stuff with him all alone. And so then he asked you to make it official and make an official date versus a quote hangout, and then here you go. Just stupid. Made some stupid decision. But I'm going to give you a little bit of credit because you're only 19 and dumb. But don't do this shit anymore. And tell him, like, I'm deleting your number off of my phone because in order for us to maintain this professional distance, we're not going to be texting each other. We're not going to hang out on the weekends anymore either. And then that's what you can do. Now, if he continues to try to reach you after that, like he calls you from different phones or something like that, he calls somebody, then you can go to HR. But that's why you want to do this when you tell him what you're going to do. Send an email or send him. You want a record of it anyway. You want it in writing. Okay, however you're going to do it. Question number 10. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Phoenix, Arizona. Summary of issue. My coworker found out that I'm struggling and said he wanted to help. I was embarrassed and said thank you and that I needed it, but it turned out he was asking me for a date and I don't really know what to do. It's my first day. I started a job at a cabinet and carpentry shop today, and the secondhand boots I bought started falling apart, and a coworker noticed and joked with me about it, and I brushed it off and joked about how, quote, silly I am. It's a long story, but I just moved across the country, switched careers, and I'm going back to school soon. I'm starting over from scratch and have had a bunch of bad luck. Lunchtime came, and he asked if I was on the diet. Jokingly, I'm underweight, and I just started sobbing. I've been looking for food banks to go to after work, and it all just came out. He took me outside while he smoked and said that he had been there and wanted to help. I said thank you, as I was just so tired and exhausted and really just needed help until payday with food and an occasional ride to and from work if he could manage. He said, of course, and that it'll be okay and give me a hug. It was a sweet moment. He came by my station just before my break a few minutes ago and said that he, quote, hopes I have a dress that can show off my features tonight, end quote, and that we were going to Ruth's Chris's in Scottsdale to cheer up. I don't want this. I don't want to date. I don't want to date right now, especially at my job. I went back to his station and said that I was flattered, but I didn't want to get the wrong opinion. I didn't want him to get the wrong opinion. And then he accused me of just wanting a free meal. Though she did. Okay. He thankfully rescinded his offer, but now it's weird and it's my first day. There's not really an HR department or anything, but I was told if I ever had any issues to go to my direct supervisor. I don't know if I should say anything. I don't want to make the wrong first impression. What should I do? You should be on the phone at your lunch hour and whenever else you can to every women's shelter, food bank, church, everybody to see if you can get you a couple of bags of groceries to tide you over. You can they usually give you some stale ass bread and some, lunch meat or something and some beans and whatever. But it's not stuff that you can make some meals so that you'd have something in your stomach for lunch, breakfast, dinner. And then, you might even qualify for food stamps. I don't know how much you're going to be making. But I would do that. See, and let me tell you something. The dude talking about he want to help. What he could do is help. How he could help is loan you $50 till payday, so that you would have the money to buy you a bus pass and to buy some food for yourself. That's what he would have done. Not try to get you on a date. He was a manipulator. Luckily, you saw through it and you dipped out on it. The other thing, what you should do is, now it's the cat's out the bag now, but you should have never said all that stuff about what you got going on at the job like that. Don't you think now he's going to tell everybody? I mean, I know you were upset and you started crying and stuff, but you could have made up an excuse. Oh, well, before I moved here, my cat died and I really miss it. Just lie, shit. It's not like you got to be honest with these motherfuckers. It's not like you know them. You don't owe them shit, especially when he's going to be trying to use it against you. But no, you one of them dumb bras that want to just tell the truth and let everybody all in your business. Y'all kill me with that. I never tell men the truth. Never. You know why? Because I don't want them to fucking know. Anytime they ask me a question, if I want them to know something, I'm going to volunteer the information. Once they ask me something, they trying to get in my business, I start lying. I just lie just because the sun is shining, because there's cement on the ground, because the traffic light is red. You gonna get the answer that I give you because you intruding into my life, and whatever I say, you gonna go away with it and you gonna like it. Because otherwise, you shouldn't ask me. Because if I wanted you to know, I would have told you. So once you start asking me shit, see now you get nosy. Nosy people get lied to in my life. You know, I'm not telling your ass shit. I don't want you to know. And I know men always have an agenda. So when they asking you questions or trying to offer something, it's always got a hook to it. It's always some secret agenda. Always. As you found out the hard way. This is unfortunate. But yeah, you can also contact social services in your area. They all usually have like places where you could go and pick up lunches. They have brown bag lunches that you could just take with you. And sometimes they have what they used to call soup kitchens, where you go and get a hot meal for free. If churches do it, I mean, food, just call social services, start there, and then look into, like I said, food banks and women's shelters and stuff like that, and see what you can get. So you only need help for a couple of weeks. You'll be all right. Question number 11. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Boise, Idaho. The male is 18 to 21 as well. Summary of issue. Am I overthinking this about what my girlfriend said? For context, we are 20 and 21 and have been dating for almost 6 months now. Things have been going well, and I really love this girl and vice versa. We communicate well, and we've had our occasional run of fights, but we always sort it out. So, before this relationship, she had an ex who's her current best friend. Oh, really? I don't know, Sliver. I just looked up here. Something said me something. Oh, Sliver, talk therapy. Oh, good. I'm anxious to hear that. Not that you have to tell me all your business, but just say thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumb to the side like you ain't decided yet. That's all the answer I need. I don't need to be all up in your mix, but I am curious. Okay, so he loves her. They communicate well, blah, blah, blah. Before this relationship, she had this ex. They were best friends. They broke up because of personal reasons, and now they remain best friends. I'm not insecure about their relationship, their friendship, because he seems to be a good guy and a great support system for her. And I do want her to have it without me as well. Same goes for me. Yesterday, we were both sleeping on call. And she told me she wanted a boyfriend who waited for her for like 4 or 5 years. And I was like, huh? What do you mean? And she was like, she wanted something out of a movie. And this broad is stupid. And she said she wanted someone who would wait for her even after 4 to 5 years, as then she'd be seeing other people, but that person would still be waiting for her. That bitch is crazy. Now, here's the thing. Her best friend was like this. He waited for almost the same time when she was dating someone else and kept his feelings secret, and now they finally dated after this time period. So my response was, how can we do that if we've already started dating? And she suddenly feels bad and says she changed the subject. Now I am so confused about what to feel. On one hand, I can't help but feel a tiny bit insecure, but I feel it's a dumb feeling. On the other hand, I'm so confused about how to react to this. What should I even do? You should cuss her out. And what you should tell her, dumbass, is, okay, I've been thinking about what you said the other day, and I just want you to know that was the dumbest shit you could have ever said to me. Number one, bitch, this is not a fucking movie. This is real life. Okay, you've been watching too much soap operas and Disney and shit that you think that somebody's a Prince Charming on a steed. That ain't real life, and no man is going to be like that except for somebody stupid. And number two, okay, so you had this friend who did do that. Where's his ass now? Are you dating him? No. So he wasted 5 years of his life waiting around for your ass to pick him. I'm not going to ever do that because I'm just too fabulous to be sitting around waiting for anybody. I'm going to deal with who I want to deal with. And then if that don't work out, I'll move on to the next one. But one thing I'm like, if somebody acts like they don't want me, then I'm out. I'm not gonna be sitting around waiting around and hoping that they come and pick me later. What kind of bullshit is that you talking about? So I mean, it's very interesting that you revealed this, but I'm just telling you right now, if we break up, it shouldn't be if, and this doesn't matter when, because you on some bullshit right now. So when we break up, I'll be done with you and I'll be moving on to someone else that has better sense than to say stupid shit to me. I just am putting you on notice now. So don't even expect it. Don't look for it. I'm not going to wait for your ass for 10 minutes, let alone 5 years. Not going to happen. And that's what you need to let her know so she can just get off her high horses talking about some silly fairy tale bullshit. I'm surprised you didn't cuss her out on the spot. That's the girl he hurt you for. Girl, you wasting all your energy, Foxy. Girl, I know you didn't ask a question, but somebody paid some extra money, so I'm going to use it on you. First of all, if some motherfucker doesn't want you, what the hell are you wasting any more emotion on him for? Why is he even a blip on your radar? He left you. Okay? That means he don't want you. That means that whatever he does after that moment, you shouldn't be giving a fuck. Why are you caring? And why are you wasting more energy being mad about some motherfucker that don't even want you and some broad that probably don't even know you existed? Because you do realize niggas lie, right? I mean, is this like a novel concept? You think he gonna go, yeah, I got a woman, but I just want to cheat. That's that they say I'm single. What also happens is a lot of times y'all think that you have a boyfriend, and what you really have is a friend with benefits. And you want to call it your boyfriend, but he's really not. Y'all have never sat down and had that conversation and made a commitment to each other. You didn't do that. You just assumed since you were sleeping with him and spending so much time with him and he was coming around and doing all that stuff that he was your boyfriend, which I still don't think boyfriends mean anything, but whatever. I wouldn't even waste my time having a boyfriend. It's like, look, we either husband and wife, which I'm really not trying to do, but I'm just saying, we either husband and wife or we ain't nothing and I'm fucking around and doing everything I want to do. You can do the same. I'm not trying to put no chains on you. We're single people until we're married. Walking down the aisle, you're still single. Single people can do whatever the hell they want to. And that's where, y'all get confused. You want to put husband obligations on a boyfriend who is a single man. And you single dudes want to do the same shit with women. They're single. Y'all just agreed to spend some time together, but you ain't, there's no ring on nobody's finger. Ain't nobody taking no vows. So, I mean, I don't understand all this angst. But girl, that attitude right there of you being mad and wasting all your energy and all this stuff, time and stuff, get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's just silliness. And it's not going to help you in life, but hang on to some shit from some clown that doesn't want you. Okay, let it go. Use your energy on yourself and to move your life forward. That's what you need to do. You need to start doing that immediately. Change that mindset. Now let's move on to question number 12. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age groups from Seattle. The young man is 22 to 27. My boyfriend wants me to come and stay with his family long-term with our baby. I'm 20 and in a relationship with my boyfriend who is 24. We've been together 6 months, but we've known each other for 7. Recently, both of our lives have taken a turn. I recently found out that I'm pregnant. He was extremely supportive and said that he would take care of me. Okay, wait a minute. So you pregnant and you only been with dude for 6 months and you've only known him for 7 months and you pregnant. Okay. He has a good paying job and is currently running his own business on the side. I'm currently a junior in college and have found out from my parents that I will no longer be supporting me from this point forward financially. Yeah, because you up there doing stupid shit, having babies by some random. I'm currently not working and I'm a full-time student taking 20 units. Well, that's just about to change. I cannot afford to pay to live in the dorms next semester as I'm still applying for jobs and looking for work. Luckily, financial aid will cover most of my schooling. He suggested I live with him because we were planning for me to come and live with him after the baby was born anyway. He shares a house with his sister, brother-in-law, and their 4 kids. His family has all of the upstairs and he pays rent for 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom downstairs. My concern is that the room is really small and stuffy. There's not enough space for 3 people to be living there. He also stated that this would not be a temporary situation. He wanted to continue living with his family in the future as well, share the same house because he likes to have family close by. I'm okay with this being a short-term living situation while I finish school, get a job, and we start saving more. That's years. That's not short-term. Short-term is 6 weeks, 3 months. Okay, your idea of short-term and mine is very different. However, although I like his family and vice versa, I would eventually like to move out as I don't think it would be suitable for as the baby grows up. I expressed it to him and he said that I don't know if I wouldn't like it until I try it and that he thinks I can, quote, adapt to any living situation, end quote. I don't know how to proceed from this point forward. He does not seem to understand why I might find this to be an uncomfortable living situation. How would I go about explaining this to him? You don't explain it. You go to the nearest abortion clinic and get that handled. That's what you do. You are in college. Okay? You in college. You only a junior. You don't have no job. You don't have no money. And you don't have no sense. So that's like a trifecta of just fucked upness for you to be sitting up there thinking about you're going to be somebody's mama. And then you're going to bring the baby in some raggedy ass situation where the baby's in a remake of a closet and he's calling it a room because it's got a little bathroom on the side, trying to fit the baby and all that baby crap, plus you and all your stuff and dude and all his stuff in that little tiny room. I'm so sure that's not. I have 2 bedrooms and it's filled with my stuff. I'm the only one that lives here. All me. And it's just my shit. There's no way in the world I could trim down my stuff enough to fit into a 1-bedroom something with somebody else, plus a baby and their stuff. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, that would be the best thing you could do. As long as you get rid of it, then you can get a full-time job, a part-time, whatever. Because, you pregnant. I mean, how you think you're going to work? You're going to be turning right around and go off on a maternity leave as soon as they hire you. What company do you think is going to want to hire you and you pregnant? Because, after a while, they're going to be able to see that you're pregnant. They're not going to have to ask. It's not like you can hide it. Get that big old giant belly and stuff. So, I mean, all in all, I'm thinking this is a stupid decision. You don't even know this clown. And would he want to set you up? I mean, he's trying to take care of you and the baby the best way he knows how. But to me, that best way is not good enough. That's some bullshit. Nobody trying to get into a situation like that. You would be miserable. And where are you supposed to do your homework and stuff like that? How you supposed to do your homework with all that, them kids running around and the husband screaming and the wife yelling and all that activity? How that's supposed to happen? You made a stupid decision. You need to get your ass to the nearest abortion clinic and take care of your business and then get your life back on track and tighten up with your birth control so you don't have this situation again. You and that dude is not situated to be nobody's parent. You don't have shit. Question number 13. Female 22 to 27 from Boston. The male's 28 to 34. And another female who's 50 to 56. Probably somebody's mother. Summary of issue. My husband and my mother got into a fight 10 months ago and neither have apologized. My husband has a bit of an anger management problem, but he doesn't believe that he does. About every couple of months, he gets upset about something and goes into a 10-minute rant. He's often swearing, and you can barely get a word in edgewise. He'll pace up and down the room, swearing and waving his hands, and if I happen to interrupt, he will then turn it on me and blame me for whatever the situation is. And you don't cuss his ass out or throw something at him, clock him on the side of the head. Say, snap out of it, you delirious fool. Up here ranting. Who do you think want to hear all that bullshit? Shut up. Sit down and shut up. Are you mad? You go jog around the block a couple of times or something. Do something with yourself. I would not sit there and let somebody man rant at me like that. He always is sorry later on, but before I learned to just walk away and let him have his wild rants, I used to vent to my mom. Oh, mistake. My husband does insurance for my family, and one day my stepdad called upset about the prices rising. For some reason, he started yelling at my husband and then hung up the phone. My mother called my husband to apologize for my stepdad, but then my husband started ranting about how rude my stepdad was. My mom eventually got tired of listening to my husband talk about how rude hers was, and so she flew off the deep end and say she knows all about the times I vented to her about his ranting. Then she canceled her insurance with him as a punishment for his behavior and then proceeded to send a 3-page email to my father-in-law with dates and times and what I had told her my husband had said that was awful. So she involved his father, I guess. Interesting. I had told her not to do this, but she said, I'm sorry, I just couldn't stand listening to him anymore. His parents blocked my mom on all social media. My husband and my mom, well, and they all their 50s acting like this. My husband and my mom hate each other ever since. My mom decided that she wasn't going to attend the wedding because she doesn't approve of me marrying my husband anymore. I've been really mad at her about this, but I'm starting to really miss having a relationship with my mom. My husband is fine with me seeing her, but he doesn't want her to come to our house. He used to constantly make derogatory remarks about her when I would go see her, but he's gotten better with that. However, if I happen to see her more than once a month, he doesn't prevent me, but he still makes little side comments. He said his biggest issue is that nobody has apologized yet. I was hoping that eventually somebody would give in and apologize, but it's been almost a year and nobody has apologized. They are both mad for different reasons. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me has considered leaving my husband because I'm tired of being in a relationship where my mom and my husband have such a negative relationship. How do I get past this? Am I not seeing things correctly? Is my mom or husband more guilty than the one or the other? No, the guilty part here is you. Because you got a big ass fucking mouth. First of all, what would you vent to your mother for? That's what they have shrinks for. You don't get your parents in your marriage. That's the number one mistake that you made. You're going to run and tell your mother like a big ass baby. Of course she's going to her allegiance is going to be with you. You're her child. Okay? But the bottom line is what goes on in your house, unless you're getting like abused or something, you keep it to yourself. And even then, I don't know if I would tell my parents. I'd probably just tell the police, something like that. I wouldn't want to drag my parents into it. They old. What they gonna do? But you're gonna run and tell your mother everything. So you're at the core of this. You started this shit. You also, by tolerating your husband ranting at you, let this go on. When he started that shit, you're supposed to throw something at him and say, "Shut the fuck up." Ain't nobody trying to hear all that shit. You acting like a fucking 2-year-old throwing a tantrum. I don't want to hear it. Grow the fuck up. I didn't marry a baby, allegedly. I married a grown man. You need to act like one. Stuff like that. You didn't say anything like that. You never told him to shut up, stop it, sit down and be quiet. Stop acting like a zip damn fool. You never said anything like that to him. Because when they men act stupid, the kid gloves come off and I just say whatever I feel like saying about their behavior because I don't like it. And they're not going to like what I say about them, but you know what? I don't care. Because you shouldn't have been acting like that. Shouldn't have been acting like that. You should be acting like an adult. You acting like you 2 years old throwing a temper tantrum on the floor. But yeah, the problem here is you. You did all of this. You did it all. So now they mad at each other, and I'm with the mother on the petty mommy. Yeah, but I'm with mommy. I would have done the same shit. You're not gonna make no money off of me, and you talk crazy to me like that. Psh, let me cancel this shit right now, cause they get a commission. And then every month you pay them premiums, they get more money. No, you're not getting nothing from me. I just don't care. Figure it out. So yeah, that's what she should have done because he didn't talk to her with any respect. Now, what are you going to do from this point forward? Nothing. You're going to continue doing what you do. You're going to go see your mother. You're not going to tell your husband that you're going to see your mother unless she lives out of state or something. You got to go there for days. You just go there for a day trip. You don't need to know where you're going. Why does he need to know? And as far as you, it's probably better that she not come to the house, not because he said so, but just to keep the ruckus down. But yeah, you're not going to do anything really because those are adults. They all know what they want to do. Even your in-laws blocked your mother. So it's between you and your mama, y'all doing the most. So yeah, this is not your battle to fight. If they want to apologize, they can do it. If they don't want to, they never speak to each other again. Oh well, ain't nobody missing nothing. Okay, question number 14. Anybody else got a question? I forgot. If you have a question, you pay your $10. This is that show. This is that show tonight. You pay your $10, and then you hold on a second here. Then you let us know you have a question. I'm looking for my the rest of my question because it looked like I separated the documents and I did. Okay. Messed up. All right. Question 14. This is a young man in the 18 to 21 age group from Winnipeg, Canada. Summary of issue. I can't find my anorexic girlfriend attractive anymore. Am I a jerk? Nope. You sure aren't. I'm dating my girlfriend. She's 20 for about a year and 3 months. She is anorexic and she lost about 25 kilograms. So a kilogram is 2.2 pounds. 20, so that's 50 something pounds, 50, 60 pounds. Wow, since I started dating her. When I first met her, she had very attractive body, big thighs, a big butt, and breasts. But that stuff, sadly, she got really insecure about her body and stopped eating, losing almost 20 kilograms in a year. Every time I look at her, I just can't find her attractive anymore. She's very thin, lost a lot of body mass, and is very pale now because she's anemic. I understand that she's a human with a disease, but I still love her. She gets professional help since she was 12, and me and her mom are always looking for ways to make her feel better. It's sometimes mentally exhausting hearing the things she says about herself and what she wants to do, but I'm willing to fight for her. But I must admit, it gets harder every day for me to kiss and be intimate with her, and I want to know if I should do something about it or if I'm honestly just being a jerk and I shouldn't care about my loved one's appearance. It's not so much her appearance, it's her mental state, because it's her mental state that's making her be anorexic. And if she has been in treatment, psychological treatment, since the age of 12, and she's still as fucked up as she is, either they need to get her a different counselor or she's just hopeless. So, as a young man in the 18 to 21 age group, what the fuck can you do? Nothing. If a professional doctor can't do anything with her, please tell me what you think your little behind is going to do 18 to 21 years old. What? This is beyond the scope of your abilities. What you need to do is deuce out and leave her crazy ass over there with her parents because she's their problem. She's not yours. That's not your wife. Okay? Please understand where I'm coming from. You are wasting so many years of your life and your energy. You're a kid. You just out of childhood your damn self. And you sit up there and people are going to be like, well, that's mean. She can't help that she has anorexia. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care what her problem is because she's entitled to have her problem and her parents can help her solve her problem. We're talking about what this young man is going to be. The issue is what impact her problems are having on him. Let's stay focused. And his life is being fucked up because she want to have a problem with food. And I had an anorexic client. That was some scary shit. I mean, after I did her, because the gym, when you go in the gym, all the new members got a health assessment and she got assigned to me. And that girl came and she had it was summertime, right? Admittedly, summertime in San Francisco is not very warm, but she still had winter level coats, like layers of clothes on. So you couldn't really tell how small she was. And so then we go into the office, right? And, you're supposed to weigh everybody, measurement, do body fat content and stuff. And she started peeling off them clothes. And she got smaller and smaller. And then I saw her little, because they starve themselves. So the body, looking for some protein, because she wasn't eating any, was taking the protein from the ligaments in her hands and joints. So she was looking gnarly like this. Her hands were gnarled up and stuff. And she was only like 22. And then I said, well, what do you, let's do a food diary. What do you eat? And her father would make this chicken broth stuff. This is the only thing she would eat, this chicken broth. And she wouldn't even want to eat the chicken in it, just the broth. And that was her sustenance. No vegetables, no fruit, no grains, no fiber. I asked her, she's Chinese. Do you even eat rice? Nope, no rice. None of just this soup. So she essentially had a liquid diet. So after she left, I went to the gym and I said, the manager, and I said, whatever membership rep signed her up should be fired. And they're like, why? I said, this girl needs a doctor. She does not need to be in this gym. So what she would do is she'd bring her little soup, right? And then she would run on the treadmill for 2 hours to try to burn the calories off. So she was essentially killing herself in our facility. That's what she was doing. I made them cancel her membership. I said, because you assigned her to me, and this is a dangerous situation. This girl is going to die on the treadmill in this building if you don't get her up out of here. And they were like, oh, so they can't, they got scared when I put it that way. You have to know how to, how to talk to people to scare them. And I said, she's that dead. I mean, her heart rate is, and this was true. Her heart rate was irregular. I mean, it was just a matter of probably within 2 years of that day, she probably was dead. I'm serious. But I was just like, so, seeing anorexia and the mentality of it without professional treatment, they don't get better. They just get worse until they die. So, dude, I mean, it's time for you to deuce out on this. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's beyond the scope of your life experience. You don't have the education or training to handle anything like this. And if she, like I said, she's been in therapy for 12 since she was 12, and she still can't get it right. There's nothing you could do at 18 years old. Leave this bitch alone. Okay? Alone. A-loan. Question number 15. This is the female of 35 to 41 age group. She's African American. A Taurus from Atlanta. The male is 42 to 49. He's an Aquarius, also African American. Summary of issue. Disposing of my ex's belongings. Dear Deb, this is what would you do question. I put my ex out. He's been gone out of the house for 7 months. He was never on the lease and he never had a key. When I put him out, I put some of his stuff out on the front porch. I thought he would come back and get the rest of his stuff, but he has not. Over the past months, I've asked him when he's coming to get the rest of his stuff. He said I didn't know that I had to come and get it. I'm tired of hearing his excuses as to why he will not come and get his stuff. Can I dispose of the rest of the items left here since it's been over 7 months? What would Deb do? I would send him a text and I would say, you have 1 week from today, and make sure it's a text so you have written proof, to come and remove your belongings. Otherwise, I'm going to donate them to Goodwill because I want them off my property. They've already been here 7 months with free. You owe me so much money in storage, but I'm not going to collect it. That's what you make sure you put that in there. But I'm not going to bill you for it. I just want you to either come and get it, or I'm going to give it away to some people who can make use of it. So you decide. If you're not here by whatever time, on whatever day, that's 7 days from the day you send that text, then it's going to be gone. So, and then once you do that, and once they come and pick up his stuff, you block him on your phone so he can never text you again, never call you again. You block him on your email, same thing. All your social media accounts, you block him there too. And then you don't accept new friendships because, you're just some random people just sending you a friend request. I delete those things. I'm not trying to be your friend. I don't know you. I'm not trying to know you either. So you delete those things, and then you go on with your life. That's all you have to do. Change the locks if he had a key. Oh, you said he never had a key. That's right. Okay, so you don't have to do that. You're good. You'll be good. Yeah, 7 months. I'm like, what? 7 hours is dead. I'm putting your shit out, and if I get up in the morning and it's still there, I'm throwing it away. Or next time they pick up trash, because they come once a week, They come. Oh, they came today, as a matter of fact. They come on Thursdays. By next Thursday, your shit's gone. But that's what I would do, girlfriend. Make sure you do it in writing, though, like I said. Question number 16. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's white from Santa Barbara, California. The female, 22 to 27 as well. She's also Caucasian. Summary of issue. My fiance just broke the news to me that she still has high debt and has been sending tons of money back to her family for help and will continue to do so. So I'm 27. My girlfriend is 26, my fiance, rather. And we got engaged 4 months ago after being together for 5 years. Been together since college. Didn't go to the same school, though. We met during a summer internship. I've also, okay, what does that got to do with the letter, though? See, people be telling you just their whole life story. I knew she had high debt because she went to a good school and she's a data analyst. She also knows how much I make and I know how much she makes, but we never really discussed savings, exact payments to who, what we do with our money, etc. I assume because she graduated around 2 years ago that she's been paying down her debt, and I didn't think her debt was as high as it is now or ever was that high. Basically, she still has $110,000 in loans outstanding, which I cannot believe. What? However, the thing where interpersonal conflicts are coming into play is the fact that she told me recently that she sends $2,000 a month or even more home to help her family in Kentucky due to the fact that her dad drives Uber. Mom is a housewife and they have to support 2 children, one in a local college who still lives in the home and one in middle school. She is very tight-knit with her family, like really close, and I'm not, so I can't relate to her. I told her it's her money and helping her family is nice, but after we are married, we need to be in more sync about how we spend our money. And then, basically, to summarize, it was a long conversation. She tells me after her promotion that she plans to send even more money at home to help out after we got married, despite her debt, and says that she can assist me with housing and utilities, but it makes sense for me to cover more, like much more, as I make much more while she focuses on paying down her debt and helping her family through tough times. We live in a high cost of living area, and she didn't say it directly, but it feels like she wants me to cover like 85 to 90% of the bills. So for your information, so you get the full picture, my financials, $370,000 in cash and savings. Dude is balling. I have zero debt and a $260,000 take-home total compensation package. Her financials. See, that's what I mean. See, my brother's constant. They be making money like that. What do I make? She got $30,000 in savings. Says she wants an emergency fund. $110,000 in debt, and a $95,000 base salary. Is her point of me covering more makes sense, or am I being wrong for saying we need to be in more sync? Am I wrong for feeling kind of like ticked off that she's asking me to cover mostly everything due to her own family responsibilities? I kind of want to tell her to focus on fully paying her loans off first, but how can I tell her not to help her family when I know she values them a lot? Am I being selfish? No, you're being stupid though. What you need to do is say, well, there will be no marriage taking place until you pay off that debt. So you can send money to your family if you want to, but we're not going to get married. I'm not going to commingle my assets and my money with you and you putting other people as a priority over me. You're going to be trying to make me pay everything here so you can send all your money to them people. We're not doing that. So whatever way you making it work now, you're going to continue to make it work. And if you living with her, you're stupid. You make her get her own place so she can pay for her own housing, or she can move back to Kentucky. I wouldn't give a fuck. Either way would be fine with me. But, you getting set up here, dude. And she's told you, so you can't say you didn't know. And then, see, this is the kind of situation you get in, right? And then the next thing you know, you're going to be like these dudes in these 5-letter groups. Talking about, well, she just married me for my money, and then she went left and she took half. That's the kind of setup you got here, but she's telling you to your face already in advance what the situation is. She don't give a shit about you. Her life is all about her family, not you, and she's not considering you family. You're there to help her take care of her family. Understand what time it is and see this picture clearly. Take them rose-colored glasses off and get rid of this bitch. Get your ring back and tell her to get out. That's what you need to do. Say, don't come back until your $110,000 debt is paid. Then we can talk if I'm still single. Please. Soon as she told me she had $110,000 in debt and it wasn't for a mortgage, I've been like, oh, bye. See, I'm like him. I just have a fear of debt. I have one credit card. I think it's got about $1,000 worth of debt on. Well, of course, now I had this car note that I didn't have a car note for 22 years, but now I have a car note. Okay, so now I have that. But I don't like debt. I just don't like debt. I just like people have all this credit card debt and they get all these personal loans and also I can't do that. I don't want nothing that bad. If I can't pay cash for it, I don't get it. Question number 17. This is a female in the 35 to 42 age group from Fort Worth, Texas. The male's 28 to 34. Summary of issue. How do I handle an annoying male friend who may be attracted to me? Nobody got any questions? Okay, I'm just still doing my letters. Deb, I love your opinion. I have this male friend I graduated with in 2016 who's about 6 years younger than me. I'm 35. And he can be pretty immature at times, but I think he considers me to be a pretty good friend. I'm starting to get the ick badly because I'm not sure if he's low-key attracted to me, which makes me uncomfortable. There's that word again. We went swimming earlier this summer with his girlfriend, and I handed him a knife with a salami on it to try it, and I expected him to grab the piece with his fingers or grab the knife and eat it. But his eyes softened, and he bit the piece off with me still holding the knife like I was feeding him. He did this all seductively, and he did it right in front of his girlfriend. I cringed so hard I got the ick badly because I don't want to do anything remotely intimate with him. Also, every time we hang out, he does or says something annoying and immature, and I feel like we are on very different brain waves, and our values in life are very different too. So what are you friends with him for? Now he's reaching out to go to dinner and catch up, but I'm very annoyed with him. I just got a new spa/hot tub, And if I post a pic to Instagram with a girlfriend in the tub, he might get hurt that I haven't invited him yet, as he considers me to be a good friend. Sometimes I just want to spend time with my female friends in the hot tub and not worry about a guy trying to sneak a peek at anybody's boobs. Am I overreacting? Am I being a judgmental and disloyal jerk? Or is this a legitimately annoying thing? Would you just try to distance yourself and speak to him less? Should I invite his girlfriend and him over to use the hot tub so it's one and done and I don't have to invite him ever again? One friend said I am overthinking this. Oh, I mean, you got something at your house. Why do you even have to tell him that you have it? I'm not understanding here. And if you find him to be cringy and immature and stuff, you should be putting space between you. You could still, if you wanted to, post your pictures on Instagram. I mean, I really don't see the point of all that, but if you wanted to, you could. And then you could tag it and just say girls' night. And then that alleviates him from asking why he wasn't invited. Then you could point to the, if he asked to say, did you not see that part where it said girls? Girls only. That ain't you. So no. Well, then when are you going to invite me? Never. Because you act silly. I don't trust you around water like that. But yeah, I don't know. I would put distance between the two of us. It's nothing I haven't done before. Because, sometimes, I don't know. I mean, I always had a lot of male friends growing up. Mostly men were my friends. But at a certain point, I don't know, it's kind of like you outgrow them or something. They do or say some dumb shit like what you express, and you just get turned off and you just don't want to be bothered anymore. So then I have what the ladies here call a block party. And just get rid of them. Let's move on to question number 18. We're still waiting for questions. If you have a question that you'd like to get answered right here, right now, this is the night when we do this. We've combined our what the fuck mail-in advice question night with this show. So you have that option to call in. If you have a question, you want to get it answered right now, I will take your question on the air. It's $10. You can send it by CashApp or by Superchat, or if you're on YouTube. So let's move on. Question 18 is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group, no location provided. Summary of issue. How can I tell my friend that her fiance has secret children and past marriages? Well, I see why she said no location provided. It's trying to be on the low. Recently, by happenstance, I found out that one of my best friend's fiance has previously been married twice and has multiple children. I learned this from a friend who grew up with him and disclosed this when we all ended up at the same party. I have done the research and social media diving. There's no question that these children exist and are his. My dilemma, I'm not sure if she knows and is very private about it, or if she has no idea. My gut tells me it's the latter based on conversations that we've had. If I approach her and she does already know, then at least she knows I was looking out for her. But if she doesn't, it's going to completely destroy her. If I don't tell her and she finds out later that I knew, that would devastate her even more. As her friend, I can't let her potentially marry someone who may be keeping a secret life from her. So please help. I need some advice on how to approach this. Oh, this is easy. This is easy. So the next time you're going to talk to her, it's like, girl, just tell me if this is none of my business, but how do you get along with his ex-wife and his kids? Y'all, you okay with being a stepmother and stuff, playing that stepmother role? How old are them kids anyway? Like you gonna put it out there like you think she knew, and you just asking, some casual questions. But you want to preface it, well, just tell me if it's none of my business. But I was just curious, since I know, it's gonna be your first time jumping into a role like that. Are you really ready? I mean, what, how do kids behave and stuff like that? You met the mothers? Are they cool? Do you think they give you any problem? You gonna put it like you worrying about her, right? That's what you gonna do. And then that way, it's not gonna come across as gossipy. It's gonna come across as just curious. Because she is about to embark on this new life with this man, and it's gonna be her first time being a stepmother. So I mean, anybody would have those questions. And so then if she looks all shocked and appalled, you're gonna be like, what? Why are you looking like that? You're gonna know why she's looking like that, but you're gonna act like you don't know why are you looking like that, girl? And she's gonna say, what do you mean, ex-wife and children? I'm like, the two ladies he was married to before, and them 2 kids he got, 3, whatever it is, that he has. And then she's gonna be like, I don't know anything about an ex-wife and children. And you're gonna be like, oh, You better put on an Academy Award-winning performance. Oh my God, what do you mean you don't know? And then you spill the tea. Yes, casual delivery is the way to do this. And then you spill the tea after that. And say, I mean, are you trying to tell me, like you all incredulous, right? You just can't believe. Are you trying to tell me that he didn't tell you? That can't be right. It's all over social media. You didn't look? Or I'm sure it's on social media. Did you look? That's what I would do. That's how I would do it. You never want to look like you all knee deep up in somebody's business, but you want to drop that lug, but you just want to do it in a way that, she gets the information without it making it seem like you a tattletale. So you got to use that approach, okay? Be slick about it. Be slick. Yeah. That's how I would do it. If it were me, Miss No Location Provided, I see why you didn't know. Question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from Atlanta. Male 28 to 34, same African American. Summary of issue. My professor asked me out on a date, and I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm 23 and I recently graduated from college, and one of my former professors, he is 35, asked me out last week. I took one of his classes a semester ago. We had a good teacher-student relationship with everyone, including me. We started texting about common interests, and I started flirting with him. It was not really intentional, and I stopped once I realized what I was doing. He later then asked me if I was flirting with him and asked me to stop since it was not okay. I graduated in May, and we kept talking almost daily, no flirting whatsoever, in a very platonic way. We've never been out together or hanged out in any sort of way. You know, hanged out is hung out, Miss College graduate. Last week we were texting, and he said that he would like to date me and that he would like me to think about it and then talk to him about it when I make a decision. He was very polite and insisted that it's completely fine if I'm not up for it, but I don't know what I should say. I like him. He's the type of man I would like, and they have many things in common, but there's something that makes me feel like I'm missing something. Is there something I'm not taking into consideration? Is it ethical to date a former professor? Well, I mean, I suppose it is, but I mean, at 35 and you just graduated, don't you think that this is a pattern for him? I mean, I know you don't think you're that special and unique, that he's only done this with you. This is his MO. Like his dude is just way too smooth with it. And what's he doing texting with a student anyway? You hadn't graduated yet. He texting you every goddamn day. What is that about? That's inappropriate. I don't understand why you thought that was a good idea. What was you thinking? Tell me I was flirting with him. What the hell was that about? You fucked up this so bad. You need to get your life straight, chick. This is inappropriate behavior on your part. His as well, but I mean, the main thing is you as a young lady, you about to enter the workforce. Okay, you graduate college, you're going into the workforce. Understand boundaries and stick to them. You don't do this kind of stuff. You're not going to be texting with your boss. You're not going to be texting with your supervisor. You're not going to be texting with the managers of the company, CEOs and CFOs and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to be texting with other male coworkers. You're not going to be texting with anybody like that that's in a position above you or peers. You're not going to be doing that. Unless y'all like if it's a team of secretaries or something, y'all could text each other. Something like that. But like mixing, mingling with these dudes and all, you're not going to do that. I'm just not feeling dude. And I want you to tell him no. As a matter of fact, I think we should end this friendship. So I'm going to stop texting you. I wish you the best with your on the downstroke to 40-year-old ass. And you barely in your 20s. Just been able to start drinking last week and shit. And now here you are trying to mess around with some almost 40-year-old man. Stop it. Stop it. Surprised your mother hasn't jacked you up by now. Question number 21. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Columbus, Ohio. Summary of issue: how to work out consistently as an adult with a full-time job that has made me burnt out. I'm 25 and I have minor scoliosis, which requires me to exercise daily so my spinal curve doesn't change, my posture, and my body runs smooth. If I skip exercise, then I feel super unstable and the chances of me falling and slipping increase. But I also work long hours now and have no time at all for anything social or going to a gym. I've always worked out by myself. I also cannot change my work hours or job for reasons that are too long to get into. This compulsion to work out and serious consequences if I don't has made the entire activity so monotonous and I hate it now. I can't think of ways to make it better. I feel very tired to enjoy the process. It feels pointless now because when I stop exercising, my curve worsens. It feels like, okay, I'm doomed rather either way. I'm tired of working so hard when my spine is already curved. Just to be clear, I'm not writing about scoliosis, but writing about how to be consistent with my exercise routine. Any suggestions welcome. I'm going to just say this. You a grown ass woman. You know if you don't exercise that you end up all fucked up. That you're gonna be all bent to the side and stuff, all twisted around and look all crazy. Why would you not exercise if you can prevent that from happening? Do you want to look like that? Do you want it to get worse? That's what you're saying. You're trying to use your long hours as an excuse. You know, you can do your exercise routine in 10 minutes on a break at work. You just go to a space, I don't know, down the hallway where nobody is, an empty cubicle or something, and do your exercises. On the next break or 10 minutes of lunch hour, you do your routine again, 10 minutes. On the next break or when you first get home, 10 minutes. There you go. That's 30 minutes of exercise. Now you got it in. You can do that every day. It'll help you be more productive at work anyway. So, to me, there's no excuse. If I could come back from 2 strokes and do what I'm doing, your ass can get in the gym or at home or whatever and do your exercises. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no fucking excuse. If your goal is to be better, to prevent sickness, and to get full use of your body, and you're not motivated enough just on the strength of those things to get off your ass and do something, I can't help you. I cannot help you. That's what motivated me, because I didn't want to be fucked up. I didn't want to. Okay, now I'm jumping rope and all kind of shit. I'm not that good at it again. I got to practice. I put that new workout routine up there. But you gotta challenge yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna care about your health more than you do. If you don't give a fuck about it, then why should I? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. And then get off your little ass and do something. Looking for excuses. I know you didn't think telling me that you was gonna get excuses over here. Question number 22. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from Maryland. The male 35 to 41. So we have issue. My ex wants to borrow my car at an inconvenience to me. What? Where they do that at? My ex recently broke up with me after 2.5 years. I was devastated when it happened, but also a little relieved that he finally stopped stringing me along. For a year, this man has been progressively more cruel, verbally abusive, and emotionally distant. It started very abruptly with an extremely angry outburst on vacation because I was speaking to homeless people. This is something I've always done if engaged. It's not hard to be kind and offer help if I can get it. He was not angry because he thought I was in danger. These outbursts and anger became more frequent. About 3 months after this trigger event, I started getting that he's cheating, a feeling that he was cheating. Eventually it came out, and I told him that he felt he couldn't be with me and wanted to be with someone else. He just had to say it, and I'd move out and there'd be no more talk about it. Okay, so anyway, they broke up, and the cheating, okay, then and there. We've been broken up just under a month. And this man had the audacity to ask to borrow my car before his DUI house arrest hearing to get groceries and other supplies since his truck is still in the shop. With the abuse was also a massive uptick in drinking that led to a DUI. Now, my gut instinct was to say yes because I'm hung up on this person, and I'm generally pretty generous, but he lost girlfriend privileges, so why in the hell would he ask me? He broke my heart, abused my trust, and emotionally abused me. On top of that, his best friend has 2 cars and lives 2 blocks away. I live 30 minutes away, and I would have to drive to him, Uber home, and then Uber to get my car back the next day. This fool just broke up with me, and I moved out days later. He upended my life with his nonsense. He could shit. He could have groceries delivered. I was just thinking that, like, Instacart. Is this man really that fucking cruel? Engaging with me, asking for favors that are well beyond the scope of what should be expected. He just faking, right? Reveling in the fact that he might still be able to get something from me. I don't want to help him, and he certainly wouldn't do the same for me. Because why am I even questioning not helping? Because you're stupid. First of all, once you moved out, you should have blocked him. What are you doing? Why is he still able to contact you and ask you anything? When he started talking about he want to borrow my car, you supposed to say, fuck no, I'm not with you a drunken ass till you get in my car. You go total out somebody else's car, it's not gonna be mine. That's what he wants to do, you know. It's his last thing. And since he's not an authorized driver, he's gonna fuck up your car and you just gonna have to eat it. And he's gonna say, well, what you should have had, you know, you knew I wasn't on the insurance, you shouldn't have gave it to me. That's what they do, like these kind of dudes. So you would do well to make sure that he never touches your vehicle. Okay, then the second thing, like I said, well, you know, this is on you because you opened that door by not blocking him. Again, another woman who just is done with a fool and mistreated by him, abused. You have all these negative things to say about him, but yet you haven't blocked him. So to me, see, when I hear this kind of stuff and y'all come whining to me about this bullshit like that and you didn't put anything in place to block him, to me, that translates into you like the bullshit, you like the abuse, and you want it to continue. That's why you left him an avenue to still contact you and drive you crazy. You like it. You want more of it. So, yeah. But that's what he's trying to do. Please block this fool, okay? And if he says any questions about Instacart, log onto your account and they see that thing where you get $10 and they get $10 off. If they sign up on the link you send him a link from your account so you get some benefit if he uses Instacart. That's my suggestion to you. Question number 23. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Ottawa, Canada. The female is 18 to 21 as well. Summary of issue. My girlfriend always accuses me of cheating. We're both 20 and have been together for almost 2 years now. And multiple times she's, quote, jokingly accused me of cheating, but gets genuinely upset whenever I don't defend myself. Even over small things, she finds a way to make it seem like I'm unfaithful. The most recent incident was when I recommended Game of Thrones to her because I really enjoyed it before. She watched like 30 minutes of it and immediately concluded that the only reason I enjoyed it was because there's naked women in it and got all sour with me. It's really starting to get to me and I'm getting tired. What should I do? You should dump her. But before you do, let's have fun. So the next time she's going to say, you know, she's going to accuse you of cheating, you say, you know, how did you find out? I would fuck her head up. How did you find out? Did you go through my phone? What did you do? And she's gonna hit the moon, and just let her hit the moon. And just you know, every time you accuse me, I feel like I should cheat because at least I would be getting questioned about something I actually did instead of something that I didn't do. So I feel like you keep asking me, accusing me of it. So I finally went out and did it because that seemed to be the answer that you want to hear. Yes, I cheated. That's what you want. So now you got your wish. Even if it's not true, I would tell her that anyway. You know, I would tell her that because that is what she wants to hear. She wants to be right that you cheated. So let her be right. And then you leave her ass. Because one thing that's like, see, this kind of situation here is a never-ending stream of drama. You know, whether she's trying to control you, set you up to be controlled by jumping through hoops to make it show that you're not, prove to you rather that you're not cheating, or whether she's going to be accusing you and using it as an emotional manipulation to, you know, get you to do what she wants you to do. And also, any way that you look at it, this kind of behavior is toxic in a relationship. These kind of accusations and blaming and stuff. And so it kills love. And there's nothing there that's going to blossom with somebody like that. You're only 18 to 21 age group. You're a baby. Get the fuck away from her. She's something wrong with her. She's going to drag you down with her. Question number 24. This is our next and last question. Since don't nobody had no questions tonight. I guess we did get two, huh? Female in the 22 to 27 age group from Manhattan. The male is 28 to 34. Summary of issue. The guy who I'm seeing asked me if I sleep around. Oh, boy. I'm 24 and I really like this guy who's almost 30. I've gone on 3 dates with him so far, even though I'm a V. Not that it matters, but I grew up super religious and have a lot of internalized shame about stuff still. I have a bit of a reputation for being a party girl because I go out a lot. I hope this doesn't come off as conceited, but I know I'm attractive, and I use that to get my advantage to get cut the line at bars and clubs, get free tickets to concerts, shows, etc. It might sound escorty, but it's pretty standard New York City stuff. And this guy knows that because we run in similar circles. Oh, I saw some yellow. Sliver. Okay, let me get you in a minute, Sliver. He asked me if I took up with guys a lot when I'm out. I was really taken aback, but brushed it off and told him that I'm actually a V. I could detect that he didn't really believe me, but we moved past it. But this weekend we tried meeting up where we were both out with our friends. On Saturday night, it didn't happen. But he messaged me the next day asking if I hooked up with anyone that night. Then today I bumped into him while I was getting lunch with a guy friend, and he just messaged me asking if I was sleeping with that guy. Is this normal behavior? Should I be offended? I'm worried I'm giving off the wrong vibe. I really like this guy, but maybe it's not a good fit. Maybe I should also add this guy comes from an uber rich family that's in the public eye, and I don't think he's ever been told no, and he's very obsessed with his image as a result. Girl, block this fool. First of all, again, just like the previous guy before you who got accused of cheating, you getting accused of being a garden tool. Why would you guys want to be around people who accuse you of tawdry behavior when you're not doing those things? I mean, I can see if you were, then you could just proudly own it. Like, yeah, I did, and he was good. But you got any other questions? You want to see a picture of his D? I saved one on my phone. I can send it to you. He had some tricks I had never seen before. You know what I mean? I mean, if you really was into that lifestyle, you would have something to talk about. But he just, he just want to be accusing you of stuff and making you feel bad and calling you names and whatnot. So I don't understand it. I would tell you just block him, just go on with your life and act like you never knew him and you don't like anybody who talks to you like that. Okay, let me get these. We got 2 questions that popped up all of a sudden. Y'all like to do that when it gets to the end of the show. Sliver says, what about a man who's hanging out with his most recent ex and calling her a friend? Would that be a sus to you? Oh, hell yeah. Because, that's just like, okay, like, Sliver comes to you all the time, but Sliver's not black. But we love her, so we don't even trip about that. But I'm just tell you this thing, like in the black community, that's called your cousin. The brothers would call this woman that they sleeping with or they used to sleep with their cousin in a heartbeat. Oh, don't be tripping about her. That's just my cousin. But why you always with your female cousin like that? That's kind of sus, don't you think? But that's how they get away with it. And personally, for me, that wouldn't work. I like exes to be where unless it's like, he has young children with this woman and they have a co-parenting that they need to handle. But there's no kids involved or anything like that, then you don't need to be friends with her. What you doing? If you can be friends with her, but you're not going to have me. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to be, you can't have the past in the present. The past needs to stay in the past. The present is now, and the future is whenever it comes. But we're not mixing past and present. We're not going to do that. Not in Deb's world, that don't happen like that. And let's see what Mo's question is. Yes, that's right. Shay, 1-800 block that fool. Mo says, I have a great male friend I've known for 20 years. We keep getting into heated arguments about Brickgate, even when I present stats on femicide in the U.S. Not sure if the friendship is worth it at this point. It's not. Oh, Mo, let me tell you this, girl. How do I put this? Men who are uncomfortable with the stuff that other men are accused of doing get very defensive. They say, well, it sounds like you hate all men. Well, not all men are like that. We're not talking about all men. We're talking about the ones that do these things. Okay, acknowledge that we're talking about these things have actually happened. They're doing prison time. Those women are dead. These women are, they're never coming back. Their kids without a mother, their parents without their daughter. These men did that to these women. Okay, this is a fact. But they're uncomfortable with that reality. They don't want to hear it because then they feel guilty, and they feel like maybe I should have done or said something. What about my friends and family? I mean, is there something that I should be doing to prevent? But it becomes too much for them. It becomes like overbearing. They feel like, oh, if I do anything or say anything, that means I'm a simp. So, this is a really odd kind of mentality that exists among men. They don't want to admit that there are bad apples. Okay, and that women suffer the brunt of the bad apples behavior. Now, there's a lot of psychologists who believe that men have a vested interest. The ones who don't do those things still have a vested interest in um, not stopping it because they achieve the benefits of it. When women are terrified, then and they come along like they're going to save her or something, they get benefit from the guys who did the bad things, in that the women run to them to be saved, and they don't really have to do anything. Just act like they, Superman or some shit. They get the benefit of that, where women are more compliant, don't really want to say no, don't really have boundaries because there's a lot of fear, and the bad guys are the ones who set that up, and the good guys get the benefits of it. You see where I'm going with that? I mean, I know I'm not explaining it that well. I feel a little tongue tied, but that's the story there. So in a situation like that, you've already tried to explain it to him several times. He's being willfully ignorant and trying to act like he doesn't understand when he does. And it's nice that you guys have known for each other for 20 years, but 20-year marriages and 20-year friendships go up in smoke all the time. So don't worry about it. Like I said, I just said this earlier in the show, we can all have male friends, but what I have found is generally I tend to outgrow them at some point, and I end up leaving them behind. So it's a constant, stream of different male friends, but most of my friends throughout my life have been males, but I cycle through them. So I hope that explains. Yeah, it's better being single sometimes, just looking at these girls, the stress that they be going through about all of this. I'm scrolling down to see. Makes sense, Deb. Think, yeah, girl, don't be wasting your energy on these clowns. What was I looking at? Oh, hold on a second. Make sure I got everybody. Okay. Got all the questions. All right. So let me see. I got was that question number 24? That was 24. Okay, yeah, the rich dude. Okay, loser. And our final question of the night. This looks like a long one. Why is it so freaking long? Sigh. Here we go. So remember, we'll be back on Saturday. We're back on Saturday. We're not having Dusty News Network tomorrow because it's Auntie's birthday. We having it on wait a minute. Here it is. We're having it on Saturday. The cover sheet still says Friday because I made them all, earlier this year. And I did plan to have all the shows on Friday as usual, but with a special circumstance. People don't turn 88 every day of the year. Well, every day. But yeah, so we're having a big dinner party for her. So that's where I'll be tomorrow. And so we'll do the Dusty News Network on Saturday. So please set your reminder so you don't miss it. So here's our last question of today. Thank you guys for sending in your personal questions. That was interesting. You guys asked some good questions. Yeah. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Korean from Seoul, South Korea. The male is 35 to 42. Oh, he's an old cat. Summary of issue. What should I do with my boyfriend who keeps bringing up cosmetic procedures I should get done? I heard that getting work done in South Korea was real popular. I found out about you from a friend on Kakao, and I like your style, so I'm asking you about my issue. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years now, and I get frustrated about things he says to me. He's been very casually talking about my appearance and telling me aspects I should, quote, fix, including things like my weight and my face. I get fed up with him and show my annoyance, and he gets upset that I get upset. For some background, my boyfriend and I are both Korean, but he was born and raised Korea while I grew up in the U.S. and only came back here as an adult. So it's definitely a cultural difference. He has been pretty insecure about his own appearance for a while now. He wants to bulk up like those gym bros on Instagram and constantly asks what I think about his body and if there's any difference. I see him regularly about once a week, and I tell him I can't really tell any difference, but he still asks me pretty much every time I see him. I also don't make any comments about his appearance unless it's to say he has a hard muscles or he has a cute little belly. I am pretty I am pretty body neutral about myself, but I'm still pretty confident about my appearance. He's been casually fat shaming me for about 2 years now as I've gained 10 pounds since we first started dating, and he keeps making comments about how I should work harder to lose weight. I do want to slim down, but I've started going back to the gym. But I also have PCOS, which makes it harder for me to lose weight, which he is now aware of, yet still makes comments. He's also said that I should get a nose job because I have a beak-like nose, meaning I have a slight bump on my nose. I have no idea what he's talking about, by the way, because I don't see it. And he's even been half jokingly telling me to stop smiling because I have deepening smile lines. Okay. Yesterday, he kept saying I should get a procedure that would melt the fat on my chin so that I would have a slimmer face. I don't care what people do regarding cosmetic procedures. I've gotten some things done and want to do some other things. And my boyfriend has also gotten a few things done. And I don't shame him or tell him not to do it. However, he actively tells me things I should change, and it annoys me. We had an argument about this about a month ago, and I told him he had to stop criticizing, and he said he would, but it's the same thing all over again. I wanted to break up with him back then because it seemed like he didn't know that the things he was saying were fucked up, and he really just wanted to, quote, help. You could tell she's Americanized. The way girlfriend structures her sentences. He's like, I could just see her doing her fan like this. Okay, he said he would stop, but it's the same thing again, and now I really think I should end it. But considering his age and how long we've been together, even agreeing on getting married, I'm very afraid of breaking up. I'm afraid of being single. What should I do? You get it the fuck over it, because what you're going to be is married, sure, but then miserable with somebody who picks on you, criticizes and bullies you every day. Why would you marry a man like this who doesn't appreciate the wonderful woman that you are and is always harping and picking on you like that? But girl, okay, he got an issue with his body. It's every time he says something about me, I would say something about him back. He talking about, well, why don't you lose some weight? Why don't you gain some, skinny mini? Well, you should do something about your face. Well, you should do something about your dick. You want my face to be slimmer, but I want your dick to be fatter. And then he would say something about, well, your nose, the better to smell your bullshit with. So I think I need to leave it just like it is. And what else did you say? He said, well, anyway, whatever. Everything that he said, I would have some snarky comeback to shoot him down. He's talking about, has he gained any weight? It's like, motherfucker, you couldn't gain weight if you went to somewhere and picked it up and brought it, put it on your back. You still wouldn't gain any weight. Doesn't it tell you you're just going to be skinny and looking all bony and scrawny and stuff the rest of your life? That's just a look for you. I don't know that they have a procedure that you can do anything about that. You're not going to become a gym bro. Just get over it. But, you probably don't want to be that harsh to him, but. Well, no, she has to dog him first. We do not on this channel ever tell a woman, unless she's being abused, to leave a man without dogging him back first. You always leave on the high note of dogness. Okay, petty. The petty way is always the best way. I advocate that. I'm a fan of petty. Okay, so in a situation like this, he been dogging her for 4 years and she been taking it. Oh, hell to the no. We got to put in some work on his ego before you leave, and then you leave. But before that, you leave him just cream sauced, because that's what he deserves. He's been bullying you and picking on you and attacking you and criticizing you for all this time, and you've been putting up with it. I don't know how you did it. Like I said the other day, and this is my rule, you say one thing about me that's critical, I'm done with your ass. I'm dropping you. You can't talk about anything I like, anything I do, anything I wear, my friends, my family, what I drive, what I choose to eat, how I fix my house or don't. And you can't say nothing. So one dude came and he's like, well, I think you need to clean up. I said, well, there's a rubber gloves and shit, go at it. Because, you trying to figure out something for me to do, motherfucker, I'm busy. I don't have time for that shit. And I know where everything is in this house. It might look a hot mess, but I know where everything is, and I'm the only one that lives here. So I'm really the only one who has to be worried about it. You don't like it, get out. So he just, well, damn, I didn't mean all that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not one of the kind of women that's gonna run around and clean up my house because some motherfucker's coming over. I don't give a fuck if you come or not. Just like you came in the door, you can turn around and do you and leave. That's just as good to me because I like being by myself. So he was just too through with me. I don't know. He probably never come back. That's fine too. I don't know, but girl, you need to please listen to me. First, you go in on him. You wanna attack his ego just like he was trying to do yours, and then you dump him. And as far as like I said, you talking about you could be married, but what are you marrying? Think about the marriage. It's gonna be a hot mess. And then once he feels like he has you, you're gonna get a constant. You're gonna see him once a week, and that's what he does to you. Let's think about what you're gonna have to endure if you with his ass every day. You tripping. Talking about being married. We talking about marriage. Fuck marriage. I'm like, these chicks be tripping. Yeah, I would just dog him out. He just would not have a break. Everything out, he would be scared to say anything to me because I would put that double reverse Uno. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's what we got going on. That's the end of this show. But I will see you guys again on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. There's 9 if you're on the East Coast. Bring your drink, bring your chill, and get ready to laugh because you know it's going to be a bunch of fools all through the show. That's what we do. It's not a serious show. It's just for fun. It's our summer programming here on the Debsterism channel. All right, so I'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a pleasant evening and a good night tomorrow night, and I'll see you Saturday.